We're live.
Hey!
Hello.
I wouldn't
This
go that far.
is Laughing Piranha Productions. We're playing through the Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign in Call of Cthulhu. I'm Andrew. I'm the keeper in this game. And starting with Bry, as she finishes her drink, would you like to let us know a little bit about your character?
I'm playing Miss Bernadette, Birdie for short, and I run a moonshining business, and currently have Mr. Connor under my employ as my driver and security.
Lovely. And Travis,
What's up? My character?
your character.
I'm playing Victor Oswald, who's pretty skilled at stuff until he isn't, apparently.
Joey as Connor.
Hi, I'm playing Connor. I'm the board mechanic, dealing with everybody having wonderful meetings about going into a jungle.
And Terry, you mind giving us a little rundown on James?
I'm James Reed. I'm the brains. Nerd. If they ever have a question, I'm the guy that they go to. And that's pretty much it.
Perfect. So we've played a few sessions at this point. Luck is running a little bit low. We're going to start out this session by refreshing your luck. I don't think there's a way built into this system to do that automatically. So, Bri, you have already rolled and failed your luck roll. Everybody, go ahead and just roll your luck. And remember, rolling high is better when you're trying to restore luck.
Oh, really? I don't think I'm going to gain some luck, but I'll do it. Okay.
Okay. So if you have failed, which means James, Victor, and Birdie, if you failed, you're going to roll 2d10 plus 10 and add that to your current luck.
Oh, that's 5.
And if
It's going to be really hard for me to regenerate my luck.
If you succeed, you roll 1d10 plus 5.
Hey, 16 is good.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not
hold on.
bad.
Wait, do I also get the plus 10? I didn't pay attention.
That's correct. James, you're getting 16.
Alright, I have
same as
16.
Woo!
Birdie. Connor, you get the 1d10 plus 5.
Okay, 1d10 plus 5.
Can you go over 100 in luck?
Can't go over 99.
Yeah, so slash.
What to say? I think that's the max for everything in this, isn't it?
Well, in Pulp Cthulhu, your skill levels can go higher than 100.
Okay, so I have 99 luck.
I also have higher than 90 POW.
Not for long.
I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
Depends on
So-
how you use it. Yeah.
In our last session, you all finished up your investigations in the city of Lima. You traveled south with your expedition in some trucks, traveling about 3 days deep into the mountains, and arrived at the city of Puno, where you're planning to swap your trucks for some burrows and make your way deeper into the jungle. Larkin went off to get the supplies you're going to need: thick tents, thick blankets. It gets cold up in the mountains. To secure some food and the mules, of course, and the rest of you kind of went off and did your own thing. A little bit of sightseeing during the day. In the evening, you broke up into two groups. Jackson Elias, aka Jonathan Hammer, has been to this area before, and he wanted to introduce you to a wise woman named Naira, who is a good friend of his. She is the person who told him about the Karisiri in the first place, the one who told him that de Mendoza was a Karisiri and that he should be cautious around them.
Did your
Yes,
mic
Travis?
change quality?
Did it?
Or is that just me?
It did
I
down
think that's
pitch a little.
due.
On speak again?
Okay. Do I sound okay?
Yeah, gone down a little bit.
It
Is it
sounds a
just-
little
Sounds like you're
echoey.
speaking into a cup.
Let's try this. Is this any improvement?
No, that's more exaggerated.
I'm not honestly sure what to do about that.
You didn't leave any of those voice filters on, did you?
No, everything is turned off right now.
Double check that something didn't get unplugged.
Well-
Somehow.
Did it? What happened? Was it while I was giving that rundown, it suddenly dropped in quality?
Yeah,
Mhm.
out of nowhere, it just went like echo.
I'm gonna pitch the old and trusty. Just leave and rejoin.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do, I think.
Yeah.
Luckily, that's not gonna mess up the camera view, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Any improvement there?
Nope.
Not still speaking. in the
Okay.
cup.
Let's just leave. Let's just live with it for now. We can worry about it later.
I'm going to try one last thing. Reset my voice settings in Discord.
We did it.
Weird. Okay.
James not hearing it?
Okay. Is that any
If
improvement?
it's a Discord problem, I'm willing to live with it.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah. If that didn't fix it, we are going to have to live with it.
Yeah, we're gonna live with it.
Okay.
Fine. It's fine. We're
Okay.
doing it live.
Well, we don't need to quote him, but so the main group of the party went to a small island. There are floating islands made out of reeds on which people live and fish, make their living in Lake Titicaca. So the main part of the group went out to meet Naira, where she is hiding out from the Karisiri on one of these floating islands. And Victor decided, having heard that there are Karisiri lurking nearby in the jungle, that he was going to wait for dark and go out on a hunt for them.
Yeah, I'm a hunt 'em.
Now, James, this is where, without hearing what the outcome of these adventures were, I'm going to ask you, did you go with one or the other of these groups, or did you decide to stay home in a nice warm hotel room?
Well, so far, let's see. They went to go meet someone.
They went out to meet a woman named Naira, a wise woman who knows about the Karisiri and local legends.
I wouldn't mind going there just to learn more about the local legends.
Seemed like that might be your sort of thing.
And definitely help with learning more about, say, any traps in, like, this said pyramid.
Okay. So, you will have met Naira, who is an extremely elderly and short woman who is nonetheless spry and fond of practical jokes, which may or may not actually be funny. You have a fruitful evening learning about local legends, about Well, there was a story about an evil god that fell out of the sky, and a local trickster hero who told the god that the best food to be found in the area was underground. And after tricking the god into going into a badger hole, he built a temple over top of it and sealed him in with spells worked into gold. Then you spent the rest of the night hearing other local legends, hearing about the gods, about the heroes, and learning about herbal medicine. Birdie in particular is learning how to brew coca leaf tea, and trading information with Naira. She, through the interpreters of Mr. Hammer and Professor Sanchez, is going to be telling you amusing stories. And everything is honestly a pretty calm evening.
Oh, yes.
Alright.
However, off in the jungle,
Mute myself for this one.
Victor, you kind of went off wildly through the jungle, hacking down vines with a machete, calling out. Who were you? Were you calling out from De Mendoza? Am I remembering that correctly?
It's like Dan Mendoza.
Yeah, yeah. And
Light side note: your voice just automatically worked perfect now. It sounds so much better. But continue.
yeah, it's best to just ignore problems until they work themselves out.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Then you critically failed a spot hidden roll. And two Karasiri came bounding out of the jungle from behind you, grabbed you, and dragged you to the ground. It's a chilly night. As your face is forced down into the jungle dirt, there's a smell of rot in the air. Smell of unbathed bodies. Around you, you can still hear the normal night sounds, but there's just scuffling as you're dragged through the dirt farther away from the village. And then you find your body flipped over. You're on your back.
What? Do I still have my gun?
Well, they've got you by the arms.
Okay.
So you're on your back. You said you had a plan here. As they're looming over top of you.
I pictured this slightly different. I thought they came up behind me and had me like a chokehold.
They tackled you and dragged you off into the jungle.
Gotcha. Do you know Dan Mendoza?
Okay. You get as far as do you know when one of them forces his mouth down over top of yours.
Do I get to dodge it?
No.
So you're kind of grappled.
Here's what you get. As his mouth comes down over top of yours, you feel a moment of confusion. You are uncertain what's happening. And then you feel a nasty, acidic, burning sensation on your lips. And I need you to make an extreme constitution roll.
Okay. I'll spend 5 luck.
Okay. With 5 luck, you remain conscious as you feel a burning sensation enter your mouth, and then it's like, at first in horror you feel like it's his tongue forcing its way into your mouth, and then in revulsion you realize no, it's not. It's something larger and wiggling, and it makes its way into your mouth, and it starts crawling down your throat. And you feel just acid burning the entire way down your abdomen.
Okay.
And it's not like a liquid, it's like a pulsing, squirming sensation. You feel your air cut off.
All right.
You remain conscious through the entire procedure until you feel it burning in the pit of your stomach. And as you're lying there in agony, the two creatures let go and just drift off into the jungle and leave you lying in the dirt. We're going to start off with a d6 of damage as the acid has burned its way down your gullet.
You want me to roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Not double D's, it's just 1D.
Yeah, so just 2 damage. It's okay. It's only the 2 damage to your throat.
So they just kind of like French kissed me and walked away, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing but bad.
Nothing like shoving, anything down your throat. Just a kiss.
Yeah, we don't.
And they went away.
Definitely not going to be a chest burster situation. Nope.
Definitely not something you'd see in Aliens.
Well, this is the jungle, correct?
Yes.
I can try to track them.
You're going to go after them?
They just, like, forced something down my throat. There's no way I'm not going to.
Okay. You could potentially seek medical attention.
They also dragged me off further in. Does anything look familiar?
I mean, you were dragged along the ground, so there's a trail you can follow. But if you want to follow them, I'm not going to prevent it. And your gun was knocked loose at some point, but you can find it fairly easily. They didn't take it with them or anything.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna figure out where they're going.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say tail them, but I want a rough estimate of their direction.
Okay. Yeah, with a hard success, you can track their path deeper into the jungle. They do go a bit deeper, and then they kind of loop around. It seems as though they're going back to spy on the village, or like they're keeping an eye on it or something. Biddles. Hush, hush, hush. Hush.
All right. I know James. James done some doctoring stuff before, so I'm gonna go try to track him down now.
Okay. So you're gonna make your way back to the village?
Yes.
Yeah. You were with the group earlier when Hammer pointed out which of the floating islands Naira was on. So if you choose to go back to the village and head out onto the water, you can find a canoe. You can row yourself out there if you want to. It's going to take probably another hour or two to make your way back and row out to the island, but certainly within your power. Do you want to go ahead and do all of that, or are you heading back to the village and waiting for them to show up in the morning?
What, that's still burnt, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, then I'm just gonna go there.
Okay. So I'm not going to make you roll anything for this. Like I said, there's a pretty clear path where they dragged you along, and you had been hacking your way through the jungle. What I will say, though, is you're going to take another 2d6 of acid damage as you continue to feel something moving around inside of you and burning at your insides.
This episode has a content warning for body horror, folks.
Reverse for anyone.
And here we go. After a while, now I had mentioned that this is where a family lives on this island. So after a while, you hear some of the people outside of the hut who have been keeping watch start calling out that there's another boat coming. And a couple of as Victor, as you row up, you see some people standing around. They're holding guns, but they're not aiming at you. They're just watching you carefully as you come up.
You wanna make me appear over there?
Oh yeah,
So
James
I can
should
also
be
see?
here as well.
There we go.
Yeah. Victor, do you call anything out or? Hush, hush, hush.
Is James over there? James!
Guess I'll run over there. Say, yeah, what's up? Is everything all right, Victor?
I think I got poisoned.
Poison.
I ingested something forcibly. It wasn't my choice, and like my stomach is burning really hot right now. I need it out of me right now.
Victor, what did you do?
Emmer's gonna say you hung out at the bar a little too late, huh?
No. Those guys might be coming back from the bar, but like what they did to me wasn't anything normal. Okay, I
Are
need
there
this.
scars on his face now?
Oh yeah, it's acid.
Yeah, it's going to. If you go over and examine his mouth, you'll find it's not like blistered, but yeah, it's red and there's a little bit of bleeding around his mouth.
I need this out. I'm gonna get a little forceful about it too. I'll like poke at James's chest.
Victor, what did you do? What happened?
Where did you go?
Coming over as well.
I was trying to see if there was Karasiri. I wanted a hunt. I have to get them back for what they did.
I'm gonna stop him, and I'm gonna go and quickly look at one of the translators and say, Karasiri, can you? Is there something that they at all do that force people to ingest something? And is there anything that we can use to possibly help get it out of him?
Yeah, Jackson or Hammer will talk to Naira and go back and forth a little bit, and she'll say, she says the stories are about cutting people's fat out with knives. They're putting something into you is that's not covered in any of the lore that she's aware of.
I'm in great pain right now.
Do we have anything that can go and help this man throw up? Or just get
there's
that
plenty of
stuff
that.
out of his system?
Do we have anything rancid lying around?
I point at the lake.
I mean, yeah, this should be right up your alley, Birdie. This seems like the sort of kitchen magic that you're used to. Give me just a second to help
There's
Pills
two
here.
things. There's two things that we
Okay.
can do. Feed him something that will make him throw up, or force him to drink water until he throws up.
Get a drink.
It'll only take 2 gallons, really.
So, if you want to try inducing vomiting, You want to brew up a tea or a special potion designed to do that. You can give me either a hard first aid or hard, what is it, arts cooking that we decided would be your...
Yeah, cooking. Instead of making something tasty, I'm gonna make something absolutely foul to shove down his gullet. Oh, that was just regular.
Well, you don't need to...
My computer is taking forever. Sorry.
So it would be 18 luck to make that a hard success. Or we
Okay.
can try pushing the roll by having you or somebody else try again. As whatever you've made is Victor, you feel
I'll spend the luck.
you're okay. If you spend the luck, then you don't fail here.
Yeah, I'll spend the luck.
Okay. So Victor, you have to steel yourself. It's a good thing that you have so much willpower that you can force this foul concoction down your throat. And you feel your stomach clenching a few times, and there's an expulsion into the lake, and you feel the thing deep inside of you stopping itself. You feel it fighting against the flow. And then with another violent convulsion, you find that it's unable to hold itself down there anymore, and expelled onto the reeds in front of you, you see a large white wiggling maggot.
How large?
How's everyone reacting?
Yeah, how do you all react to
I think I'm gonna take a step back.
this little guy suddenly coming outside of Victor?
Well, Birdie shrieks and jumps back because that does not belong in any human stomach.
It is briefly, you see it lying on its back, multiple little pointy feet wiggling in the air as it's trying to right itself. You have a moment to react in some way before it starts. Yeah?
I was about to say, someone
I was
too, Fluffy. I was
someone
upset.
at least like
I
chop
didn't want to like puke it up and then immediately jump on it, but
I'll do it.
It's okay. It feels in character for Victor to still be vomiting as he's stabbing this thing to death.
puke on my arms.
Absolutely.
Like,
So, yeah, it wiggles, it tries to get away, but in this situation, it's on its back, it's disoriented. You manage to just skewer this thing on the end of your knife. And everyone else is kind of recoiling in horror. And Hammer's gonna say, I've eaten the worm, but I've never seen one that big.
yeah. The thing
That
that
is
put it
not
inside of me had 2 legs. It almost looked like you or me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bri.
Oh no, I was just going to make a snarky comment to Hammer. Does that look like a worm?
And Connor, just looking at the entire situation, quietly pulls a cigarette from his jacket and hands it to...
I think James is gonna get slightly closer,
yeah.
but still keep his distance, and just
So-
try to look at it a little bit more because that is a little bit bigger than it should be.
A little.
Exaggeration, but it's a little bigger than it would be normally.
That is a fair point, though. at the sight of this thing, we're just going to go ahead and do sanity checks.
Yay!
As you see this worm come wiggling up out of Victor's throat.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yay! Ooh. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no.
Do I click again? Or am I good?
I think we cooked the dice again to see what the sanity damage is.
If you failed, yeah. But
Yeah.
if you passed, then you take 0.
Yeah, 6 out of 94. I would be surprised if I took any.
Took 2.
You're at 94.
Yeah, I have 94
Shit.
sanity right now.
I was at 86 last time. I rolled a sanity check because that was fine.
I have maxed luck and sanity right now. And health. I'm doing great.
Yeah, so, James, you are going to find yourself recoiling in horror from this. You're going to be uninterested in being anywhere near it, but you're not going to have any nasty effects from it. Mr. Hammer, on the other hand, is actually going to enter into a bout of madness.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. This is actually perfectly in character. So, watching this worm wiggling on the end of Victor's knife and watching it move its last and go still, Hammer is going to walk over to one of the bales of hay and sit down and just pull out a hip flask and take a drink. And we'll say, well, if all we have to worry about here is big maggots trying to get down our throats, we can pretty much just wear masks, right? And everything's going to be okay. I was more afraid when I thought that everything was going to be cultists with knives coming after us. But if this is the extent of it, not so bad after all.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Would I be able to retrace my footsteps with a hard track roll?
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
I wanted to figure out where they were going, and I got a hard success.
Yeah.
Would I be able to find them again?
Most likely.
Okay.
You know that they were sticking in the area, and they seem to be actually keeping an eye on the village.
Someone put this down my throat. Okay? They're still out there.
Seems like a good idea to not go out there then, doesn't it?
Does this not seem just a little bit, I'm sorry, but I don't think that whatever that is even supposed to be that large. James, do you know anything about bugs?
A little bit, but I know they're definitely not supposed to be that size.
So, Mythos roll?
Sure, you can take a mythos roll.
Do we even have a mythos right now?
One of us does.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
actually,
right.
But doesn't mean I understand it.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Hammer has a little bit of one now too, because he went mad.
Yeah, he's got a 5% in mythos.
I think I've got one too, actually.
Yeah, it's just that we learn those mythos things later. Remember, this is the prequel.
Where is it?
Connor is just more like, while everybody is freaking out, he's just trying to keep people from doing anything stupid while they're freaking out and handing those that need a cigarette a cigarette.
I need a cigar at this point. I
Right?
have the taste of vomit in my mouth.
You know, I gave you a cigarette to get rid of the taste out of your mouth. And then whenever you're done, like, you're taking a break, I'll hand you a hip flask.
Professor Sanchez is shaken, but has not succumbed the way that Mr. Hammer has. He's going to... Victor, quietly to you, he's going to say, what was the name of the person you spoke to the other evening? In my study? Your vision? Father of maggots?
Yes.
I'm sorry, a vision?
He's whispering. Because Victor asked him to
Okay.
keep it quiet. He's respecting that
Okay.
for now.
Okay.
I'll nod. I won't like blatantly just say yes or.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we should say something at this point? Seems relevant information.
Well, I'm going to start explaining specifically to Victor the story about the god fallen from the stars and how he's called the father of maggots, etc., etc.
I'm just gonna like lean up against the boat, you know, just kind of. I've met him.
Excuse me?
I don't like him. He's not a chill dude.
And when, pray tell, did you meet him?
Just gonna believe me like that?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that you just vomited up a maggot, I don't know if it matters whether I believe you or not. I would like to know some more information, please.
See, I brought that mask over to the professor's place to have him look at it.
Where is
Seems-
Mask?
Back at camp. I don't want to bring it. I don't want to walk around with it. I don't want to walk around with something like that. I'm gonna leave the gold part out for prying ears. I wanted to figure out where it was from. James was occupied with something already. So the weirdest thing happened to me when I looked into it. There's this smooth surface, and my mind just went blank, and I was in this room talking to some guy who claimed to be the father of maggots. I could barely understand him. I don't know if these are connected, but I mean, I'm just gonna gesture towards the fucking
Birdie walks away.
maggot.
She just pinches the bridge of her nose and just walks away and starts pacing.
So what had you ingested before you had this vision? I've heard of vision quests before. I've never heard of one being induced by looking at a mirror.
By all means, I could show it to you later.
Sounds fascinating.
Who said that, James? Or not
That's
James?
Hammer.
Yes, a brilliant idea. You had a
Maybe-
vision where you met the thing that is probably hiding under the temple we're going to.
He also called me his new priest. I don't know if that means anything.
Well, it sounds like you might be safe while the rest of us are destroyed.
I mean, I don't know about save. I just got French kissed. I'll like gesture towards the maggot.
Connor muttering to himself, "We won't be safe for long." Like looking at Victor.
Listen. All I know is this thing came out of me, and wherever this thing came from, I'm gonna go like destroy it. No.
Hammer says, how many do you suppose there are?
At least more than 3. 4. More than 4.
Do you have any idea where they went after they shoved that into your mouth?
I have a rough idea. They're patrolling the village.
No, God.
Listen, even if you don't believe me, we have to take care of those people.
Believe you or not, there's a maggot the size of your arm that came out.
Is it the size of my arm?
Not quite. It's not exactly to scale on this map here, but it is.
James is
More like
exaggerating
my
here.
forearm.
Yeah. James is freaking out. Let him be extra.
Yeah, remember,
Okay?
he's a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
It's better than the size of a brick.
It's
or-
bigger than any bug that should go down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to go bug hunting?
Hmm.
I have a question first. How did they get that thing into you? Did we already cover that?
Snuck up behind me. I ain't proud to admit it. Forced me to the ground and like French kissed me. As I've stated.
The connection between French kissing and a worm getting shoved down your throat is
They put their lips onto mine. Did they put their lips onto mine, or was it more over it? Okay.
Yeah, it was direct.
Can I,
what? So you're saying they
I'm able
threw
to
up
actually
a
just
maggot
pay
into
attention a
you.
little bit more to his lips, right? Just to see if there's anything around it.
Yeah, there's some acidic burning around it and going down his throat. I would imagine his voice is kind of raspy right now. Might be wise if Birdie was able to provide him with some honey tea for a couple of days. But there's nothing that there's not a whole lot that needs immediate medical attention, or like doesn't look like he's in danger now that well,
Then I'm
if
just
that
gonna-
maggot was going to do anything, you would prevented it from doing it.
Then I'm just gonna state the whole fact of whatever happened, it was no matter what, still a forced entry into his mouth. Judging from the redness of his lips and the cuts from it, and his voice being a lot more raspy and hoarse. Probably have some honey tea that might help him. At least with some of his recovery from this.
I'm gonna. So, like, whatever's left of the worm, I'm just going to, like. I assume I don't have a bottle on me, right?
Oh, I gave you my flask.
Okay, so.
So you're gonna shove the worm in the flask?
Is this your only flask?
Oh. We're from an alcohol-producing family. I have more
Okay.
than one flask.
I'm gonna down all of it with one go, and just put it in there.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to say, yep, disinfect.
Yeah, it burns, and it doesn't burn good.
Oh,
Yeah, that's straight whiskey.
that's open wounds burn too.
But it is. If there's anything left in there, you're probably cleaning it out. It's not a bad idea. It just kind of hurts.
Yeah, you know those comically large flasks? Connor would definitely be carrying one of those now.
As
So
you,
are we?
yeah,
Go ahead. Are we? Are we gonna go get these things that are out there? We can't just leave it there.
Well, I'm not
The
sure.
risk of them doing that again to one of us when we're not here? I don't know.
First off, we're gonna start using the buddy system. I don't care who your buddy is, but we're getting buddies. All right? Because this is a little bit ridiculous, and while I didn't think that we were going to be needing to pair up for this expedition, I think traveling in groups of less than 2 or 3 is a bad idea. So pick a buddy, everybody.
I think James is just gonna look at everybody and just say, I'm gonna stick with whatever the biggest group is.
Connor.
I
Victor?
can live with that.
Victor, look at me. I'm on top of you for the rest of this job.
I'm afraid I don't swing that way. I'm just gonna lean over my stomach.
I'll let you have that one, mate.
If you're volunteering to watch him, Connor.
Now, back to what I brought it up. Are we gonna leave these things out there? I wouldn't want to leave those things to these people.
Hammer's going to say, we know there's more than 2. I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't know that we can make a large difference here unless we are prepared to just stick in the area and hunt as many of them as exist. And I don't know how many that is.
Well, I can at least make it 2 less.
Victor, have you ever experienced a gang war before?
No, but I ain't afraid to start one.
That's how you get innocent people killed. Because if they don't find you, they're gonna take it out on anybody who might have helped you.
Or are we just gonna leave right away then? What's the plan here?
Suggest we ask the locals what they would like us to do. And with that, I'm going to turn to Naira.
Through the translators, she'll be able to tell you
Oh,
that
well,
they've been hunting me for a while. I know that there are more of them out there. I know they're not all white men anymore. Which means I don't know how you can easily identify them.
There was a stench about the two that attacked me, right?
There was.
Was there any stench on...
De Mendoza?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay. There goes my only working theory. That's all I have. If anyone else got something.
Well,
I was going to say, if you think that you can find a way to cut them off at the source, that might be the best option.
I think that might be our best move at the moment.
You can spend the rest of the evening out here on the island if you want, or you can head back before the light comes up. You know that Larkin was planning to head off into the jungle early the following morning.
I'm going to suggest that we get back to town before it starts getting light, so that, one, we have more cover of darkness, and two, as few people know we were out of town as possible.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
If you're going to be marching through the jungle, it'd probably be best to get some sleep if you can.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's getting chamomile tea.
So Naira is going to wish you well. She's going to take, if you don't mind, she'll take that maggot. And so she can study it. It's up to you, though. You're the one that killed it.
I'm the one it came out of.
Yeah. So you can decide if this is a trophy or if this is a trauma.
Trophy. A trophy that's also a trauma.
Are you taking it with you, then?
Yeah.
Okay. She will give you some more coca leaves along with, she told you how to use them effectively for medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And wish you all well.
All right.
Toss is all on here. When you get back to the city, excuse me. You can hear that the bar is still open, but probably getting pretty low on customers at this time of night. You can head straight back to your hotel if you prefer.
I'm going to do that one.
Yeah, going straight back to the hotel. I still have that tea that the birdie gave? Or has that been made yet?
I'll say we get that when we get to the hotel.
Yeah, if there's nothing else anybody wants to do, we can rest for the night.
If no one
We're
wants to
trying-
pop some monsters, then I'm going to bed. Because we got a buddy system.
Do you want to have another maggot shoved down your throat?
That's only because they got the jump on me first.
Are you offering?
James is just gonna go to sleep and make sure all windows and doors are locked tight.
I'm sleeping with my shotgun again.
Okay. Everybody is going to. I did the rest there, so you can see if you were low on hit points, they're recovered.
Yay.
The next morning, you'll see Larkin having final conversations with the truck drivers as they're about to head back north. He's paying them their final wages, and he's standing there with a few mules. And each of the mules is loaded down with tents, blankets, food, a couple weapons. As he sees you all emerging from the hotel and making your way over, he's going to just say, "Hello, good morning. I'm glad you're all feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to face our little adventure. Did everybody
he
have a
feeling
restful evening?"
How's he looking?
Well, what do you mean? How he looks mostly about the same as yesterday. If you want specific information,
We're talking about August, right?
Augustus Larkin, the guy that hired you
Okay.
and has been sickly, yeah.
Does he look like he's not going to keel over at this point?
Yeah. He's not walking with a cane. He's breathing a little bit heavily, but you know everybody is up here in the mountains. He looks much healthier than when you saw him ready to collapse in his hotel room a couple days ago.
Okay, healthy or high?
Fair distinction.
Yeah.
With Mr. Larkin, I'm not sure there is a distinction.
Oh boy.
His pain is under control. If you want to try to get a really good look at him, you can do either a first aid or a spot hidden.
You can't fail 2 spot hiddens in the same back to back. That's why I'm gonna roll spot hidden.
I also am going to roll spot hidden, but that's because I have very high score. It's going to be regular, hard.
Said I could also just do a first aid. Or a spot hidden what?
First aid or spot hidden if you're just trying to get a look at what's going on with the man.
I'm
Regular
just gonna
check?
try and get a look.
Yeah, regular check.
Okay.
I didn't notice anything.
Yeah.
He looks healthy, guys.
Oh my.
He looks healthy.
Yeah.
Hey,
to
he's
James,
better.
It looks like he's completely recovered. To Birdie, it's very clear that this man is medicined out the gills. So he's functional, but you're not sure how many days in a row he can have this much heroin and remain functional.
Okay.
The man's gonna die soon. He keeps taking heroin instead of just, not going to a doctor or taking actual medicine.
Are you saying heroin isn't medicine?
In small
Heroin
doses,
is
sure.
a medicine that we keep using as a drug and making it only as a drug. But yeah.
Yeah, only as a drug. Only.
I mean, yeah, it is a medicine.
I mean,
The same with meth.
anyone want some cocaine?
Oh, yes, please.
Um,
Yeah,
For
so
YouTube
I don't know.
purposes, that was a joke.
I don't know
Fun.
how to whisper. I'm not sure there's a way to whisper in here. So Travis, I'm sending you the message for your spot hidden in Discord.
Oh, should I have done that?
oh, okay, okay.
Okay, and I will be right back. I have to use
Okay.
the restroom.
And as you're all gathered together, does anybody have any final business, any last supplies you want to gather before you make your trek into the jungle?
I just want to make sure I have
You
My-
did get
my
whatever
pistol?
pistol you wanted.
that would have been what was it? It was a revolver, I think. I think I got the 45 revolver.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not
Okay.
bad.
I will put that on you.
Honestly, Andrew, that I should have asked that a while ago. That is something that flew over my head. I like it.
Okay, James, should have your gun now.
So where do I see that pop up?
If you look on your combat tab, you'll see it there.
Combat. All right, I see it now.
Yeah.
There's nothing more here for me, honestly.
Everybody's
Unless we
good?
want to start murdering the people, I'm good.
Well, yeah, you don't get XP for that, so.
I wasn't doing it for XP. I was doing it for the principle of humanity.
Well, you said murdering the people, so I was
Like-
assuming you were talking about the villagers. But,
I mean, I was more so talking about the bug monster maggot walking corpses. Heresy,
that's
as you would
better, yeah.
colloquially call it. Did I use that word right? Colloquially?
Yeah, that's not bad. That's a fair use of the word.
Okay.
So, you make your way off into the jungle. You are heading sort of southeast of the village. You're passing over a landscape of a mixture of grassy plains and hills and valleys. I'm putting all of you down on the map. During the day, it's fairly warm. You're not traveling at a grueling pace. You've all kind of accustomed yourselves to the lower oxygen content of the air, so you're fine. As the evening comes on, you find that it drops below freezing the farther you get into the mountains. And it is a good thing that you have that Mr. Larkin bought tents and warm blankets. Every evening you're making a fire.
Do we at all bring warmer jackets or anything? Any warmer clothing?
That's a good
In case
idea.
if we stay out during the night away from the fire?
Yep, there is no problem with that. You can all have long underwear and warm jackets.
Good.
Did we get bug repellent? Did bug repellent exist?
I believe you can burn some torches to try to keep them away, but you don't have like aerosol off or anything.
Yeah.
While smoking them.
The closest thing to bug spray at this point in time, I think for this area would probably have been just rubbing certain leaves on yourself. I'll double check that.
James, as you're marching along, Hammer's gonna make conversation with you. He's heard a little bit about your parents, and he'd like to know a little more about, what home life is like for you, and if you're okay taking care of yourself. He tells you that he kind of left home at a young age, and his parents didn't die and leave him alone, but he knows what it's like to be kind of alone in the world. And
I should be able to take care of myself, although it's nice to have others there to help out.
I kind of wandered around and followed a few different careers. I was an itinerant preacher for a while. I've worked in the carnivals. You feel pretty focused on following in your parents' footsteps?
Originally, I was gonna follow them and join them on their expeditions one day, and now they're not here.
Yeah.
All I have is what they have left for me to follow and figure out more than what has been kind of told to me. I feel like there's more to what happened to them than I've been told and been led on to believe as of so far.
Do you mind if I ask what did happen?
They went missing, and then apparently the rest of their team was found slaughtered by some natives.
Ooh.
They got executed for that. And there's not really much to talk about.
I'm sorry, it
But
doesn't sound like you got much closure out of it.
But from what I know is they weren't able to identify fully any of them, other than like a few. So I'm still kind of clinging on that small amount of hope that maybe my parents didn't fully die during that. And that I might be able to find them one day.
You're a hopeful young man, aren't you? I hope that'll serve you well.
I hope so as well.
As you march farther along, you're going to spot, like out of the corner of your eye, you'll see a jaguar darting along the rocks. When you're sitting down to rest at midday, let's see, who has the lowest luck? It's going to be Victor, I'm sure. So Victor, you'll be sitting down, leaning against a rock, and you'll just hear a noise above your head, and when you turn around to look, you see an enormous anaconda slithering away.
I was about to say, whatever that noise is, I was just gonna shoot.
You gonna start attacking the anaconda?
That's
Shot
a
head.
great idea.
It's not attacking you. You still attacking it?
No.
Okay.
I won't just murder it.
So it passes.
Only because
it passes by you for quite a while. It was probably something like 30 feet long by the time it's completely gone. You're getting real up close and personal with all the wildlife around here. And eventually you're going to make camp for your first evening. Let's go ahead. And everybody give me a luck check.
Okay.
By the way,
How about
fun fact, the longest anaconda in the world was 33 feet long and 3 feet wide at its widest point.
That's a big boy.
And snake!
You did it again. You did it again.
Fluffy.
Oh.
Travis, you managed to get both extremes.
You
On a
know,
luck
we
check.
never failed like more than one check a session before we started doing this.
I
I
broke.
think this is just streamer luck again.
It could be. All right.
I mean, it's
so-
just luck.
I
So
saw
it's-
the 100 and I got scared for a second.
Why do you still have maxed out luck?
Don't worry.
I
This is
saw
going to
100
be just.
got scared for a second, so thank you, Fluffy.
That means that you are the one keeping watch at 3 a.m., Travis. And I would just like you to make a listen check for me now. You're sitting by the fire. Everybody else is snoring quietly in their tents. You're possibly a little worn out. Maybe a little distracted by the sparks coming off of the fire. Oh, you spent your luck? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not failing a listen roll.
Then you are going to hear distress sounds coming from the mules.
I'll kick Connor awake and go check on it before he gets up.
Hey, a smart decision. That's really. I'm not attacking you specifically. I'm just saying, like, that's a really good idea. So you
Good.
you wake Connor up. Connor, you feel your boots being kicked as you're slumbering in your tent.
Connor will kick back and start waking up. Grumbling.
By the way, I'm just like, check out what's happening.
Connor reaches into his coat, pulls out his pistol, pulls the slide, gets up.
Yeah, so the two of you sneak over towards the animals, and you see one of the mules kicking and struggling. You see all of them are distressed, but one of them is kicking and struggling as there is a man standing next to it. He's on the far side of the mule, but you can see that his face is pressed up against its neck.
And bang.
I mean, sure, you go first.
Yeah. Connor has heard about people drinking fat, and now there's a giant worm that was shoved down Victor's neck. I'll apologize and ask questions after I see a dead body at this point.
Okay, so are you going to try to sneak around and get a clear shot, or are you going to shoot around the mule as well as you can?
Yeah, he's going to try to find a clear shot before he pulls that
Okay.
trigger.
Then we're just gonna have you make a sneak check.
Okay. Where is my sneak? Okay.
It's not going to be hard or anything. This man seems to be pretty distracted. Yeah,
That's
no
good.
problem.
Yay.
You sneak around, you get a good angle, and you can see now, just as Victor had described to you, this is not like So Victor had described somebody's jaw distending and their mouth extending out into this weird circle with teeth and then clamping onto the young woman all the way back in the capital in Lima. That's what you see latched onto the mule's neck. But beyond that, all the other ones you've heard about that Victor's described, they might have been dirty or unkempt or something like that, but they were wearing clothing. This one, at most, is wearing rags. His hair is wild and long. He looks like he might never have been inside of a city before.
Okay.
But you come around, you get a good angle on him, and as long as you make a good shot, we're not gonna have to have a real combat sequence here.
Just don't aim for the face.
Would you like for me to roll for that?
Yeah, just go ahead and make a shot with your pistol.
Check or attack?
Just to check. I'm not bothering to put somebody on here unless we need them. We're doing theater of the mind right now.
Sure. That is a bad roll.
That's a bad roll, all right.
That is 40.
Spend the 40 luck.
That's 40 luck. I have 99 of it, but that's going to take me 4 luck recoveries to get back.
No shame in just having a failed roll. I mean, that happens.
Yeah, there's no shame in it.
So, you fire your shot, and it reacts. It leaps back from the mule, and it looks around, and it sees you. Travis, before it moves, you're gonna have a chance to act as well.
Okay, so am I what's the point blank? Am I point blank to this?
I would say probably not, unless you want to make a sneak roll too to have gotten real close to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you fire as well. It's not a botch, so you're not going to hit the mule, you're not going to hit Connor. But 2 shots ring off into the air. It glances back and forth between you, and then it drops to all fours and takes off at an intense speed into the jungle.
I feel like that woke up the rest of the camp.
Oh yeah, there are gunshots going off in close proximity. Everybody's awake.
Connor before everybody shows up. Well, that's embarrassing.
But you seen that shit too, right?
Yeah.
You seen it get on all fours and run.
Aye.
Okay.
Connor is processing this incredibly well this entire time.
Oh, I forgot to put Larkin out here with you. Let me just do that. So yeah, as the shots are ringing off into the air, the two of you are standing looking at the mules. At least the part of the group I control is going to be stumbling out of their tents, and Larkin's going to be coming over, head kind of ducking around, down and looking around, saying, "What is it? Was there some sort of jungle cat or?"
Man beast. It's all good.
A man beast.
Yeah. A beast in the shape of a man.
Tattered clothes, drinking from, Connor gestures over to,
Some sort of
the
bandit?
mules. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we have
What's going on?
such stalwart guardsmen watching over us.
Well, Birdie,
Probably gonna go and look at them quick and say, is it still here? Or is it fully gone?
It bolted off that way. It ran.
Also, I want it noted, Birdie stumbles out of her tent in her nightdress, like pantaloons and undershirt, with her gun. Half asleep, she's ready to go.
Connor is calling out to her. We got good news and bad news.
Oh, good.
Victor's not crazy.
I'm just gonna run over and actually check the meal and just make sure it's not bad.
Yeah, it is injured. You can see where it's bleeding and could probably stand to have some patching up done. But they seem to have stopped it before the thing became in mortal peril here.
Alright.
Hey, Larkin. You got a second? You guys can continue on. I'm gonna like, direct him away from everyone else when I get a chance.
Okay.
And if someone else has something else, they can do it first. It's fine.
Is there anything I need to do to try and patch up the meal?
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for it, but if you tell me that you want to go ahead and do that, that is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to patch it up.
So you can stem the bleeding and make him a little healthier. And yeah, Victor Larkin will walk off with you. He's not going to want to go too far from the group.
Just out of like earshot.
Mm-hmm.
I see. We got matching tattoos.
Instinctively, his hand comes up and just clutches at his shirt, even though it's not open right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that you even had a tattoo.
I didn't have one until recently. Do you remember how you got yours?
Well, I have to admit that sometimes I take a little bit too much of my medicine, and I don't always remember making decisions under its influence. So I was in, it was when I was traveling through South Africa that I, apparently on a bit of a whim, got myself decorated.
That's not how I got this. They kind of look similar. I got this from a chance encounter with those Karasiri things.
Karasiri.
Yeah,
Can't say I know what that is.
Your buddy. What's his name again? God. Not Larkin.
Mendoza.
Mendoza gave it to me.
Okay, do you know that's not true?
Am I not correlating something here?
You got that after you asked the god for a sign that this was real.
Okay. That helps me out a little bit more. I thought that was from the bite. You said it was on my arm. I assumed it was the same arm that I got bitten.
It was the hand you were holding the mask in.
Gotcha. That changes things up a little bit. You... Hold on. I gotta reshift my...
Sure. Yeah.
I was prodding for something else. Would you mind telling me a bit about those benders? Do you remember anything?
Well, I don't think that bender is exactly the right. I just it's not always an easy medicine to regulate correctly. It's sort of self-prescribed, self-administered, and so sometimes it might be. There's a fine line between controlling my symptoms and oblivion.
Had any trippy experiences? Seen anything weird?
Well, yes, but what are you trying to... What do you have something specific in mind, or...
Have you ever met someone called the Father of Maggots? And these experiences before?
See, his eyes get a little bit weird. He says, no, it doesn't sound like somebody I'd want to meet.
Would it... He was the one who gave me my tattoo. You have so much more than me. I was wondering if you knew a bit more.
Is he your dealer?
No. I wouldn't say that. I guess it would be psychosis to figure out if he's lying, right?
Psychology, yeah.
Psychology. Let's go. I don't have it.
Psychosis is what you go through on a daily basis.
So yeah, with that, a guy's just telling you he has blackouts. Seems feasible, but it's also an easy lie to tell.
If you weren't you haven't... No, hold on. It's a little weird that we'd get the same tattoo. And, well, I didn't have this a few days since we started this trip. Just showing up on my hand.
Have you had trances too?
Yes. I would call it a trance. I don't know where I was, but I was.
Do you want to try to really push him here, or are you just kind of probing lightly?
I really pushed when I said Father of Maggots, so you know I'm not holding back exactly.
Okay.
I'm not like, hey, you crazy too? I'm putting my cards on the table.
Okay. So, Larkin is going to look over and see that the rest of the group is having conversations with themselves. And is anybody really paying attention to what Victor and Larkin are up to?
I mean, I might try and see if I can understand anything that they're potentially trying to say.
You're working on the mule. I know Connor and Birdie are having a conversation, but I don't know if they're completely distracted by that or if they're going to be trying to listen in at all. Or
You're muted. You're muted. You're still muted.
There you go.
I'm absolutely keeping an eye on Victor, even half asleep, because everything bad seems to happen around him.
Yeah, I'm just a bad luck magnet. That's exactly what I wanted to be.
I was about this. I guess since I'm still working on the horse or on the mules, just at least have an idea where the rest of the group is. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not suggesting that they wandered off into
the.
They didn't wander off into the jungle. He's just checking. Is anybody?
Oh, I know.
Really...
I'm making sure to see that they're at least close by and that nobody's wandered off.
Yeah, I'm
very
continue
much
working
keeping
an
in
eye
what
on
I'm
Victor.
doing.
Okay.
If Victor
Then-
tries to get out of sight, I'm following him.
Then Larkin will lean in close to you, Victor, and he'll say,
Listen, he doesn't actually know anything. But I'll talk to you about this later, okay? We gotta make sure there aren't so many prying ears around when I ordain my new priest.
So is this gonna be a roll or something? Cause like, I don't know what's happening.
what would you want to roll exactly?
I don't know. Is he casting a spell?
No, he's just talking to you. You see his eyes go, like, pure black for just a moment as he's speaking in that weird voice. And then he leans back and his eyes go back to normal and it's like nothing happened.
I'm going to, he's going to probably pretend like, nothing happened. I'm going to let him go and just walk away. Like,
Okay.
I'm just going to leave him hanging. Like, I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Then, we can go back to taking shifts for the rest of the night if you feel like it, or everybody can stay up and be especially on guard. It's up to you.
Well, if someone's still at least up while I'm working
Yeah.
on the meals, that'd be appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Buddy, system.
And, fortunately, though, the rest of the night is going to pass uneventfully. You'll see the bright sun breaking over the mountains. And, you're going to have to spend another day marching along with the mules. James, you patched that one up. Probably transfer some of its equipment onto the other mules so it has a little bit easier load while it's injured, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be in any special danger.
Alright.
And, midway through the second day marching through the jungle, you're going to hear the sounds of gunfire coming from over the brow of a hill.
So, I guess I'm going to be running.
You're running?
Yeah.
Probably stay slightly close by, but try to, make sure I'm not gonna get shot if they're shooting towards us. And just kind of keep a distance and just stay a bit hidden.
Alright.
But still following Victor.
Okay, so Victor's running towards the brow of the hill where you can hear the gunfire coming from. James is sticking back a little bit, following in that direction. How about the rest of you?
I'm gonna direct the mules to hide, like pulling them behind trees and into brush so that they're not immediately visible. And do we have actual handlers for these, or is it just our group?
It's pretty much just your group.
Okay. I'll direct Mr. Hammer, Mr. Sanchez, and I will suggest to James to wait with them and the mules to make sure they all stay under control so that he doesn't get in any danger. And I'll sneak further towards the gunshots to see if I can get a look at what's going on.
Okay. Mr. Hammer is going to say, I appreciate the concern, but no, I need to be where the action is. But Professor Sanchez will be very happy to stay back with the mules.
Alright, just make sure they all stay calm. And, if they start coming towards you, run.
Alright, and
I don't
Connor,
like
are you
that.
going as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So you all make your way up a hill. Victor, you're going to crest it first because you said you're rushing on ahead. And you're going to see, off in the distance, maybe a half a mile away. So you make your way to the top of the hill. You're looking down over the next valley, maybe half a mile away, you see two human figures. You see one kneeling down, holding a rifle, looking around himself, and the other lying on his back, clutching his chest. And at this point, the shooting has stopped.
Are we gonna be closing it this soon?
Yeah, we will be.
Okay.
This will be our last encounter tonight.
I'm gonna keep my gun in my hands, but I'll get up close. I'll get up to him, you know, keep it away, not pointed at the man. And what happened
Okay.
here?
So as you start making your way down the hill, he's going to see you and he's going to aim his rifle at you.
Oh. What happened? Everything okay?
He yells something at you in Spanish.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nobo Anglais. That is my butchered trying to mimic what other people have said.
Okay, he fires and it explodes off of a rock near you.
I guess I'll wait for everyone else to catch up. By that I mean, like, hammer.
You see him racking another shot. As he's screaming at you, you do make out the word Karasiri.
I'll point at the body.
Yeah, he's going to take aim at you again.
Karasiri. I'm trying to communicate. That's my goal here.
Uh-huh.
I'll take like a few steps back, but I'm not letting him leave my eyesight.
Yeah, if you take a few steps back, he doesn't shoot again. And around this time, the rest of the group will be cresting the hill. You can see this. You can see the same thing. There's just one man kneeling down with a rifle aimed in your direction now, and next to him is another man lying on his back and clutching his chest. There's quite a distance between you.
Hammer, do you understand what this man's saying?
I'm gonna put my
Listen for
revolver
a
away.
moment. He'll say. He listens for a moment and he says, "Sounds like he and his son were just attacked by Karasiri, and he thinks we're more of them."
Can you tell him I'm not, and that his son might need medical attention?
I'll do what I can. And he'll.
But as a group of white men, I don't think it helps.
Yeah, he starts yelling down in Spanish. And they go
If
back
I
and
have
forth
to-
a little bit.
If I have to, I'll throw him my revolver and slowly take steps over there so I can actually take care of his...
Yeah. He says, "All right." So after they yell back and forth a little bit, he says, "Okay." He says, if someone can provide medical attention, one person go down with no weapons.
Oh, be careful.
I'll hand, I'll probably hand Connor my gun since he helped me get it.
Okay. So you kind of openly make a show of pulling out your gun and handing it over to Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slowly walk down there,
Mm-hmm.
keeping my hand shown. And I'm gonna start taking a look at his son.
Okay. Yeah, so his son is clutching at his chest, but you can kind of move his hands away, and you see there is a gaping wound in his chest where just like teeth tore into him. And you can see that his body is emaciated, as though he hadn't eaten for some days. Or as though somebody has been sucking fat out of his body.
Am I able to just quickly yell up to Bride to, if she can, to start making some type of fatty meal while I try to work on closing up the wound?
Sure. And you can go ahead and make either a first aid or a medicine check to see if you can stem the bleeding.
I don't think it's late enough the day that we can justify stopping and making camp here just yet. But I will go through our rations and see if I can find the fattiest foods possible.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, excellent job. You make up a poultice, you apply pressure to the chest. You get bandages wrapped around him to keep the pressure on so that the bleeding is going to be stemmed. And you're going to also add some you'll add some of the herbs Bri has explained to you over the past couple of days to help to kill infections.
Alright.
So you he sees you taking care of his son. It looks like you're doing actual medicine. So after a while, he lowers his gun and he kind of sits down, and you see him clutching his head. And then he'll wave to the rest of you. And you can, if you choose to, you can come down and approach. James, when you finish up, he is like grasping your hands and speaking rapidly. And there's obviously still the language barrier, but you know gratitude when you see it.
I'll look, or I'll just kind of talk and mainly kind of just tell Hammer to just go and translate for me quick.
Mm-hmm.
That this should hopefully help, but he might need to go and actually see a proper doctor to actually have it taken care of a lot better than what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But he should hopefully survive.
Yeah, Hammer will go back and forth with him a little bit to say that he is extremely grateful. He feels indebted for your aid. He's going to offer to take you back to his cabin, give you a warm meal for the evening, and Larkin's going to be a little put off by this. He says, "Well, it's wonderful what you've done for the man, but I don't think we should really take the time away from our quest." But
Tell him that the Karasiri are following us, and we don't want to put him in any more danger than he needs to be, because we're trying to stop them.
yeah, he crosses himself when that message comes across. And he'll ask where you're going.
The place no one else does.
Yeah, there'll be a bit more back and forth, and Hammer will say he says that we should be very careful. He managed to drive. He said there were a pair of them. He managed to drive them off, but that's the direction they were headed when they fled.
Well, we can try. And hopefully you'll be seeing us again and not them. And I say that half joking, half this is very serious. I am aware of how serious it is. And, at least from this guy's perspective, we're walking to our deaths.
Well, he will tell you his name is Julio Cespedes, and whether it's tonight or at any time in the future, you always have a meal and a bed waiting for you at his house.
Absolutely thank him for that one. Also,
Yeah.
this is painful to me because I know Spanish and I keep trying to... I keep having to stop myself from talking in Spanish. Because Bernie doesn't know Spanish.
And with that, and maybe you can help him build a bit of a litter to help get his son home easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that we would at least help get his son back to his house and then carry on from there. Tell him, basically, of course, to make sure that his son has some fattier meals to try and regain some of that fat that he's lost.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To regain that nutrients.
Mm-hmm. Give him some of our greasier, richer rations.
And that is another good deed you have all performed. And you'll find yourselves marching on with a renewed sense of purpose. You camp for another night in the wilderness. This one goes uneventfully. And we will break as you set off at dawn on the third day.
Dawn of the final
On the
day.
third day. Okay.
So thanks everybody for playing tonight.
And
Fun as
Absolutely.
always.
Thank you.
Absolutely delightful. And here, a brief gift.
oh,
Cat?
There's a kid.
A
cat.
sleeping
the
boy. Oh,
The boy.
I'm a
Oh,
kitty.
a
yeah.
sleeping boy.
Meow.
He is passed out.
Does anybody have anything they need to say before we say goodnight?
Um,
I'm gonna have better luck next time. I've read the script ahead. Don't worry, guys.
Make an offering to the gods of dice, and they like cheese.
they like
love-
cheese and chocolate and steak.
Well, I can at least give them steak and cheese.
Yeah. I actually made an offering earlier. That's why we were late. I was making something bad.
Well,
Not a lot.
you didn't fumble any rolls tonight, did you?
I fumbled one roll tonight.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, he missed a shot.
But
Yeah.
they
Oh,
were
well.
not.
It wasn't a critical roll.
Yeah.
1 out of 5 rolls that I've rolled. That's pretty good odds. I wish that's how I rolled every other game.
I think the only thing I actively failed
I think I failed
was
pretty
the
much a
luck
lot
roll.
of my stuff.
But yeah,
There was that one that I had to spend luck on, but that's it.
All right then.
But aside from that, at some point in the future, we may start streaming group Monster Hunter Rise hunts,
Ooh.
if we can get that figured out. And that would be on this channel.
I would possibly join you guys. Problem is, I spent like a year for the Switch online thing and never touched it.
I will
was
throw
on
it out
me.
there. I will throw it out there that if you need the online membership, me, Joey, Fluffy, JD, and I think Gubs all have a
You have
family
the family
account.
one? Yeah, I have
Yeah.
another friend group that has a family one, and they've been trying to get me into it, and I'm like, I would, but I don't. I'd rather pay for it myself.
You'd rather pay the full 30-something dollars than just 4.
Yeah.
I see how it is. You want to spend money you don't need to.
Yeah, if I'm gonna play, I might as well actually play instead of just slowly giving money and then not touching it.
Okay.
I need to get better at actually using my Switch. I bought it and then I barely touch it, and I'm like, oh, it's just sitting there as like now a trophy.
Welcome to
That's
getting
all
older.
it is now.
Dang.
Either way, that's the only thing I have to mention, that at some point in the future we're hopefully going to be streaming that.
That sounds like a fun announcement to me.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody had a good time tonight.
Absolutely.
A great time. I'm glad that one out of my 2 first aids actually worked.
Hey, it's better than my doctor's luck on every game I've ever played with a healer. So you're good, man.
Also, Andrew, I thought the tattoo was not from the mask.
Yeah, sorry, I should have made that clearer.
I didn't even know you had a tattoo.
Well,
That
your
was
character
last
not
Probably
even-
it's probably because I wasn't there last session.
Mm.
And he's been wearing a glove to hide it.
Yep.
Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.
Peace.